Well, it's special guest time, and as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, and actually during it as well, we are out here at a rather unique semi-custom home development called Maverick Equestrian Estates, and we are talking with Bob Penton with Power Realty and with the building company. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I guess a good place to start, because all of the emphasis seems to be today on the REOs and the foreclosures and the FSBOs and the rest of that stuff, and yet there is still a really strong market on the high end for semi-custom homes. Is that not correct?
It is correct, and we call it the move-up market, or the executive or junior executive market. And our target buyer, our profile buyer, is the individual that has a good income, has a substantial job, probably has developed a large equity position in real estate over the last several years, which was very common in the market here today. And they're willing to apply that equity into a much larger, and what we're finding is a much better appointed home. People that want to drift from just sheer square footage or sheer bedrooms and bathrooms into something that has very unique quality.
Okay, well, I guess we're going to start outside then. These are all set on more than estate-sized lots. So let's talk about the land and the ground that they're on.
This particular subdivision, and we are in development for 3 others as well, are half-acre residential lots, estate lots. The size of the homes, they're all single level, single stories, and so they do consume some of that lot. However, they leave very generous side yards and backyards. So pools, various other appointments that one might want to the exterior of the property are all very doable. Our standard side yards tend to run in the vicinity of 20 feet. Where it's not uncommon in some of your track locations to be down to 5 feet. So
yeah, well, that to me is one of the most impressive parts, is being able to find a new home that you can decorate to your heart's content. I noticed that when I walked into the den area, you also are giving people a choice of carpets and granites and coping and other things that are associated with a custom home.
We like to figure that this house actually is a custom home. We have 3 floor plans at this location. Once that's determined, we offer numerous possibilities of how the home can be finished. As you mentioned, practically any color granite that you can imagine, we will acquire for them. We do have samples on site. When they go to our interior decorators to pick out various other things such as floor coverings, we do have granite selections and stuff that they've got there for coloring purposes. But if they've got something particular in mind, whether it's in the granite, whether it's in the appliances, in the lighting, the woodworking, anything that they want, we can achieve. We also are very flexible in the floor plan. If there's a pillar in a room, as an example, that you don't particularly care for, we'll remove it. If you want the fireplace relocated,
as long as it's not load bearing, you can remove it.
Exactly. As long as the code allows us to have that flexibility, fireplaces can very easily be moved from one wall to another. Things of that sort. The first challenge that we received, one of the first buyers that we had actually wanted a basement put under the home.
Really?
Which required a complete engineering restudy, and we're currently under construction on that home. So basements are very much in at this location.
So they do become custom homes?
Yes.
To me, one of the advantages is that if you travel almost as far south as you can on Jones, you're at the base of a mountain. You can't see it, folks, but I happen to be looking at some mountains. This, to me, it would be good because you still have access to the rest of the valley, although on first appearance it looks like you're a long ways away, but you're really not, are you?
Not really. You're approximately 2 miles north of the North 215 at Jones, so you can be in Central City within 20 minutes, something like that. I could be in downtown.
I know it is 20 because I live off of Flamingo and Pecos on the southeast side, of town, and it took me 27 minutes to get from there to here this morning for today's taping.
It's very, very easily done.
Okay, you have 3 models. They're all single level, single story homes. What's the general square footage from the smallest to the largest, or vice versa, and the general price range?
We run from 3,616 feet to 3,800 feet to 4,030 feet, depending on whether the person kicks a wall out or does something else where they want the thing slightly enlarged. Price ranges, they start in the low 900s and go up through, they run from like $899 up to $940 is the base prices on these homes.
Which is a terrific value if you just consider the cost of the land alone. I mean, it really, I mean, to have a half acre that you can build swimming pools, patios, spas, it actually has to be one of the best high-end values in town, of being able to find a 4,000 square foot home for around $1 million compared to some of these other areas as well.
Absolutely, and considering that it's custom built to your specification at that point, it really becomes a good deal.
Yeah, and even the quality of the cabinets and the hood over there, and I notice you've got stainless steel appliances in the kitchen and things like this as well.
Yes.
Okay, do you have any incentives? We didn't really have one before we went on the air, that if somebody were to come out this weekend, we'll give specific directions in a moment, do you have any incentives to perhaps that you could throw in as a bonus or something?
We ran an ad in Saturday and Sunday's paper. We have the 3 models here. We would like very much to find somebody that would like to purchase one of these models, and we offered in that ad to pay the mortgage payment on the house for a year for the individual that would step up and buy one. Now,
say that again?
The mortgage payment for a year. We do have some considerations
in
there.
I'm sure.
We're not looking for somebody that has a $15,000 mortgage for us to take over, but under general conditions, if the mortgage was approximately $5,000 a month, we would wind up subsidizing that to the.
That to me is one of the best. You know, you can put a Mercedes in the driveway, but I'd much rather have the my mortgage payment any day of the year.
I would do the Mercedes if that's what it took. So
okay.
We're very anxious to get property sold, just like every builder. We think once the public sees these homes, if they're actually into quality, they will very much find that they've fallen in love. Okay, now if I were to call you up and say, Bob, how do I get here? What directions would you give me? The easiest way that I find to get here, there's numerous directions that you can get in. If you take the 215 freeway north to, because Jones hits the freeway in 2 different locations, from that intersection, we're approximately 2 miles directly north to a small side street called Brent. And at Brent, you turn left, and at that location, there's a sign on that corner. And at the minute you turn left, you can see the subdivision in the distance. It's very easily to be seen. Good. The telephone number? The phone number is 889-9000. Thank you, Bob Penn. Maverick Equestrian Estates, our special guest today.